Hi, it's Kathleen from Bailey Academy, mom of 5, homeschooling 3 of them, ages 10, 13, and 17. Today I'm just doing a book haul from Book Outlet. Not everything I bought is for school, but I'm going to share things I bought that are school related or for teaching me about education, things like that, anything like that first. And then I'll share the few books that I got for myself, so you can just skip over that if you don't care. Um, So if you aren't familiar with Book Outlet, there's a link in the description where you can sign up, and I believe you get $5. We both get $5 off or our next order or something like that. But it's a Canadian website, like Thrift Books if you're in the States. But basically, you buy books that are sometimes they have damaged ones, but most of the time they're just like leftover or extra. Like they have like lines on them like this to show that they're, you know, I can't spit out the words, but anyway, it's cheaper books. So the first one I got is a chapter book, Mary Poppins. Most people know the story of Mary Poppins. I love the movie. I've never actually read the book, and I think it'd be awesome for my younger two, or at least my younger one. So I think we'll do this as a read aloud. If not, we don't get to it this year because I technically already had some plans for this year, although that didn't go so well. Then next year at the latest, but definitely going to be one we're going to do. I think it'll be fun. So that was the only kids chapter book that I got. Okay, put that over here. So then I also got a kids nonfiction. I was just looking I wasn't looking for one up on this subject. I just was looking at the, cheaper of the cheap books. So this is How Women Won the Vote. Alice Paul, Lucy Burns, and Their Big Idea by Susan Campbell Bartoletti. So I didn't know it was this big, but it looks really cool. We have talked about How Women Won the Vote a little before, but they don't tend to forget things, so going over it again is not going to hurt. So I don't have any plans for when that's going to be used, but everything. But this next one I want to share. Many of you possibly have heard of this. Learning How to Learn, a guide for kids and teens, how to succeed in school without spending all your time studying. So I first learned about this a couple ways. Our pen pals in Ireland have been doing the online course of this, and then there's a homeschool YouTuber who I will figure out who it was and link them below, who has been working at the Mama Librarian, who has been working through this with her children, the book specifically. And so I've heard lots of good things about it, and I definitely wanted to get it. So when I saw that it was cheaper there, I was like, I'm going to get it. So yeah, although it's designed for kids in school, I believe, it says, we all have the tools to learn what might not seem to come naturally to us at first. The secret is to understand how the brain works so we can unlock its power. This book explains why sometimes letting your mind wander is an important part of the learning process, how to avoid rut think in order to think outside the box, why having a poor memory can be a good thing, it sounds interesting, a simple yet powerful way to stop procrastinating. It's based on the best-selling book of Mind for Numbers, which I did a review of a long time ago on my book blog, although I've since had issues, so the review's not up there right now. So I liked that book, so I definitely will like this book. While I was looking for that, I was looking for other education books. They don't really have much in the way of homeschool books, and the few they had I'd already read or didn't want, so I was looking for more like education and general books. I found this one, which I have bookmarks and notes in already. Read Well, Think Well. It says, build your child's reading, comprehension, and critical thinking skills. So that sounded like it might be good. And I've already read only 60 pages of it, and I've already got notes, and within the first 20 pages, I already found enough information to make this book worth the purchase, even if I had purchased it full price. So I will be doing a review of this book both on the book blog and also on here, because that's that good. But apparently I lost a note or something, I think. Maybe. But yeah, it's basically the first little bit talked about reading comprehension, and it tells you exactly things you can do to help your child with reading comprehension, which is exactly what my younger two need. So within the first couple pages, I was already loving it. But basically, it says learn how to choose the best age-appropriate reading material, boost your child's memory and retention skills through verbal and visual exercises, utilize technology aids to help your child understand the comprehension process. Understand the big 6 skills of reading comprehension as learned through analysis and summary of the text, and promote values for everyday life through reading. It is designed for parents who want to supplement their child's learning in school. So it talks about your child being in a classroom with teachers that aren't you, but totally it can be used for homeschool. Like, it's just so good so far. So, but more on that later. I also found Reading, Writing, and Arithmetic, Mastering the 3 R's of an Old-Fashioned Education. Sounded interesting. Haven't read it yet. So, I don't even know. It's like exercises. It says, within these pages, you'll find a range of fun and informative exercises to train your brain in the essentials, including speed reading challenges, grammar conundrums, handwriting tests, multiplication teasers, and much more. So, it's not just information, it's like actual exercises. I'll try them myself, and if I find them helpful. Even like this one's reading comprehension, read and answer the questions. Grammar was the one I showed you a minute ago. There's math. So, I don't know. Sounds cool. And the last one, not the last book, but the last one I got specifically for school, I don't even know if I'll use it for school. I just wanted to just get it, but I'll probably use it, is A Number of Things by Jane Urquhart, Stories of Canada Told Through 50 Objects. So I got off on a tangent looking for Canada books, because we're in Canada, so we learn about Canada a lot, obviously. So this sounded interesting. It's not, it's adult nonfiction, but basically it's cool because it shows a object or of some kind and then talks about it. I don't know, it's not a lot of text, so I could, if I find that it's interesting, I could definitely read it to the kids in Morning Basket or something. So I'll go back to you on if that was good or not. Alright, now if you're interested, the other books that I got are all nonfiction because that is what I read. So if you're interested in nonfiction, stay tuned. So, the first one I got, or that I'm going to share of the other nonfiction, is not what I thought it was. It says, For You When I Am Gone, a journal, step-by-step guide to writing your ethical will. I had no idea what an ethical will is, so I had to look it up, but basically it said that it was, like, not a will, like a regular will is like, what happened to your assets and your children and stuff when you pass. The ethical will is more like things that you thought were important or things that you wanted your children to know, that sort of thing. So I thought it might be interesting, but it's basically just, like this one says, what makes you happy and what lesson is there in the things that make you happy that you can share with your loved ones. And then there's a lot of space for writing. I don't even like to write that much. I didn't think it would be that much writing. Like there's pages of it. There's a quote and you keep writing, and there's a quote and you keep writing. There's, I don't know if I'll use this or not. I might just pass this on. Like this is chapter 7, what is love? It talks about it, and then it says what is love, and you put your definition of love. Not what I thought it was. This one's called Chronic, the Hidden Cause of the Autoimmune Epidemic and How to Get Healthy Again. I picked this one out because I have an autoimmune disease, my daughter has an autoimmune disease, and my other children may have an autoimmune disease. Mother possibly has an autoimmune disease. So I wanted to make sure I read up on this and saw if there's anything helpful in it. I love nonfiction on health, so we'll see if this is helpful. It says it's written by a doctor and his former patient. Real striking evidence that a range of common infections from COVID-19 to Lyme cause a variety of autoimmune, psychiatric, and chronic conditions. Chronic explores the science behind what makes them difficult to diagnose and treat, debunks widely held beliefs, and provides solutions that empower sufferers to reclaim their lives. there's obviously more to it than that, but so that's that one. This one was a last minute. One of the books I wanted was no longer available, so I just looked for something else. So this is called Romaine Wasn't Built in a Day. Delightful History of Food Language. I think that's kind of funny. By Judith, don't know how to say the last name. Sean. So this is a cute little book. Talks about, where is it? So the table of contents: breakfast, mid-morning Java break, lunch, happy hour, dinner, nightcap. So it's written like it's a menu, kind of. And then, yeah, so breakfast is word origins of our morning fare, food origins of computer jargon, Java, I don't know. Foods named after people, places, and body parts, word origins of alcohol, cocktails, and liquor vessels, word origins of veggies, meats, nuts, and sweets, evening drinks, and end of the day thoughts about food language. There's an appendix with some other stuff, too. So it kind of looked cute, and I love reading about food as well. This one is called Golden, The Power of Silence in a World of Noise. This is bigger than I thought it was going to be. It's quite thick. This is by Justin Zorn and Lee Mars. So I am sound sensitive, and so while I love to listen to music and stuff like that, it's not like it has to be silent all the time or anything. Loud noises make me cry, make me stressed, make me anxious. And so sometimes I just need quiet. And so I thought that this would be helpful because it seems like the world nowadays is getting louder and louder. It says here, Justin Zorn and Lee Mars take us on an unlikely journey from the West Wing of the White House to San Quentin's death row, from Ivy League brain research laboratories to underground psychedelic circles, the temperate rainforest to Olympic National Park, to the main stage at a heavy metal festival, to explore the meaning of silence and the art of finding it in any situation. There's more to it than that, but that's the gist. 2 more books. This one I've actually heard of, The 90s, a book. I grew up in the 90s. I saw reviews of this online. It sounded great. I wanted to read it, so when I saw it, I was like, yeah. It dissects the film, the music, the sports, the TV, the pre-9/11 politics, and changes regarding race and class and sexuality, the yin-yang of Oprah and Alan Greenspan, and almost everything else. Yeah, talks all about anything that happened in the 90s, or is popular in the 90s, or anything like that. And so, fairly small text, too. So that one will be interesting to read. Last one I got, which I saved for last, is because it is a graphic novel. I do not even like comic books, let alone graphic novels. When I saw this, I thought that it looked interesting, and so I looked up pictures to see what it looked like as a graphic novel, and I was like, I think I can do that. So it's called Hidden Systems: Water, Electricity, the Internet, and the Secrets Behind the Systems We Use Every Day by Dan Knott. And what's his name there? So, but it's the one thing I hate about comics, or dislike, sorry, about comics, is that I can never know, like, do you read here and then here, or here and here? Like, I don't follow very well. But this one is more boxy. So it's, pretty obvious which order you read it in. And everything is blue with just a little bit of green. There's not much color, which is interesting. And so I like that because in this regard, like learning about systems, it's helpful to see pictures of what it's talking about. So, like that's helpful. So, anyways, I'm going to try it and see what I think. Yes, that was the last book. So that was my book outlet haul. And I love Book Outlet. I wish I could order from it more often. Although, to be fair, I have lots of books from Book Outlet that I bought before and have not read yet. So I'm sure I'm not the only person that does that. So let me know what you thought about my book haul if you're still here with me in the comments. Which ones you would want to read. Which ones you might pass on. And like I said, if there's anyone that you specifically want to know more about, especially the education ones, after I'm done, if you want me to review them here, let me know so that I know that I should definitely do that. But I plan to for at least the Read Well, Think Well for sure. I think that's it for today, and I'll talk to you again later. Bye.